Hello and welcome to the first episode of Rust Smart Builds. I'm Vicious, and this is our 3x3 agricultural farm base. This base costs 13,300 stone to build, and has an upkeep of 1,800 stone a day without any additional add-ons. You will need 14 large planters, 4 sprinklers, a medium battery, 3 electrical branches, 1 splitter, 4 water pumps, 2 water combiners, and 1 fluid switch and pump. This is for the basic version. The more advanced version that is more energy effective and for experienced farmers costs an extra 2 splitters, 4 electrical branches, 2 timers, and 1 blocker. I will go in depth in the advanced version later in the build with a completed base design at the end of this video so you can understand what this looks like in a vanilla concept. Okay, so let's get right into the build. So here's the 3x3 with a hole in the center. Placing these, if you decide to place these, do not place them like this, because it's a lot nicer if you line them correctly. So if you just have them all rowed out, it places a lot better, and it looks a lot. It's not about looks, but it's about ceiling light placement. It just helps you out for when you're planting the ceiling lights. Little thing there, all there. Okay. So to do the planters, first start with some low walls, just so you can place them perfectly in the center. This helps for watering and for lighting issues. So when placing them, notice how I have a little bit of room. I can like move it left and right. You want it so far to the middle as possible, right? So same thing goes there, same thing goes there. Same thing goes there. Yeah. Then you can get rid of these, and then you can fill in the gaps. As I said again, though, you want it as close to the middle as possible, so these can overlap, and so can the other sides. So you have it. So you can see it almost seems like one straight line, almost one straight line. Once you've set that up, you want to do it for the downstairs as well. Right. And I'll show you the lighting placement. The ceiling light placement, there it is. Ceiling light placement is not directly in the center, because we will be trying to use 6 rather than 7 ceiling lights. So this is the center right here. But we're not trying to go for the center, we're trying to go for slightly towards the middle. So if this is the center, try and square it off. This should be the exact center of the, should be slightly one whole plank size away. If you were to square this plank rather than rectangularize, you'd square it, and that would be where you'd want to place it. So again, look for the center. That's the center. Slightly there. Again, same for this one. That's the center. We want it there. Same for this one. That's the center. We want it there. Downstairs, entirely different. You just want them right 2 in the corners. One here. One here. For sprinklers, it's very easy. Very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually kind of messed that up. You'd rather just want to have them all in the center as much as possible. So I'm just going to have them actually rowed on the center line. Like this. This is the most effective method for doing your sprinklers, because in this system you will actually be generating water rather than losing water or having stable water. For example, if you are inputting 1,000 milliliters of water, you're actually getting about 1,400 milliliters of water out. You will have your 4 water pumps under here. I like to keep this little spot open for boxes, for loot, your own choice. Not these. Fluid combiners. You want 2 fluid combiners, and then you would want a pump. You just wire these all together. So you can wire this into that one, and this one will go into your pump. This one will be directly up to your sprinklers. That makes sense, right? Here's an example of how you should do the water pump placement. Each water pump should be 90 degrees from the last one, as to make sure that it is possible to be placed. It's a very tight placement, but if you place it right, it should be very easy to do. Also, they have no, water pumps luckily have no durability, so that means you can constantly pick it up, replace it, pick it up, replace it, until you find the right placement for each and every one of them. Now, you can choose to always have your fluid pump on, but there's various methods. There's a very good method that I have recently learned, and I'll also be teaching you, based on electricity, to have the water level of your hemp always at the highest level. So I'll show you how the wiring is done. Now onto the electrical side of this build. As you can see here, I have the 4 items I said that you required, 3 electrical branches, and a splitter. I will be using counters here to display the amount of electricity outputted, because this build server does not allow for water, so there's no water pumps, but these will end up saying at least 5, and one of them will be saying a little bit higher because there's a little bit of excess electricity. I'm doing this with a medium battery to show you that it is done with a medium battery as well. First one, you want to have output as 12 for the 12 ceiling lights you have. Next, you will power out into the next branch, which will be powering out 2. This will be attached directly to your pump power. Next, you will power out into the next one, where you will actually branch 16. Branch out, the 16 will be going directly into the splitter. Once the splitter gets 16, it transfers it into 15, which is actually 5s for each one. Last but not least, you will leave the excess electricity. The excess electricity is 17 in the basic build. I'll now be showing you how to modify this to being the more advanced version of this build, which requires splitters, electrical branch, timers, and a blocker. I don't need the timer or the blocker because it's already built behind me. I'll show you the explanation and all the wiring step by step, so don't worry about that. I will, however, still need the splitter. To do a more advanced and more electrical safe, to save more electricity, you want to attach them to splitters. Instead of attaching it directly to ceiling lights, you attach it to here, and you change this one output to 4. If you now attach all of these ceiling lights directly to this splitter, you can actually save 3 electricity throughout the whole system. Keep in mind, Rust likes to be buggy about this sometimes, so just give it a few tries and it will 100% work. It's just a little buggy with splitters. Now the second upgrade to this space that you can apply is, instead of having it directly to the fluid switch and pump as done here, you remove that and you will attach it, I have it on the other side, attach it to a branch. Set this power to 11, and I'll walk you now step by step through the timer. The point of this timer is so that way it does not overwater itself, and the ratio is 1 to 15. So for every 15 minutes it's running, it will turn off for 1 minute. Set the branch out to 5, branch it out into a electric branch. This branch is 2 to power, the 2 powers the timer, and the excess goes into the blocker. The blocker's output is the start of the other timer. The other timer obviously gets the electricity from the branch. This outputs into another branch, which the power out of this one will go to your system. As I'll display here. Goes to the power pump. And the other one will actually restart this timer, because the idea is that this timer is running indefinitely for a 15-minute loop, while this one runs for 14 minutes of that loop. So to properly set the timing on this one will have to be 840 seconds for 14 minutes, and this one will have to be for 900 seconds for 15 minutes. Now once applied, oh, my bad, that's completely incorrect wiring. Oh, okay. This one. It is this one. Once properly applied, this system will now run itself for 15 minutes straight. Dewire that just to show it to you. So now, once this is properly run, you may have to unpower the whole system and repower it, just so that way your timing is proper. But now, for 14 minutes of this loop, it will be powered, and for 1 minute, the 1 minute that this one is turned off and this one is turned on, there will be no power, so that way the water does not overflow onto your planters. And here we have my friend LMAO's concept of this 3x3 farm base. He is the one that helped me a lot with all the wiring and watering, and giving me good tips and pointers on what to do with the farm base. Here's his design in the middle. Very spacious, boxes on the sides, research in the middle for an extra way to jump up easier. 4 pumps, 4 sprinklers, all of these at near perfect water. All of them. With a hidden electricity room, so that way his electricity can't just get blown up instantaneously. That's this is what a completed concept looks like. You can transform it in however you would like. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like and subscribe if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. There'll also be like SAM sites, turrets, all different sorts of electrical designs. And post your own versions if you want. Send some photos of what it would look like, what you did differently. Maybe you can find a more effective version than I have. But for me, this is the most effective version I could think of. Yep. Have a nice day.